What was wrong with me? Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about that at all, actually. I'll just discreetly check the time. Yeah, so strange couple of months. We've obviously had all the riots and stuff. As Howard was saying before, nothing expresses social disharmony like the need for new trainers from JJB. We had fuck all in Darlington, strangely, where I'm from. I do have a theory. I think we did have looters, but they just got to the town centre first and thought, fuck it, somebody's beaten us to it. We'll go elsewhere. There's also very little that you can loot from Poundland with a map of the street. Grope for men aftershave, an off Kinder Egg, and Blue Peter 1987 annual don't have much of a market. See, I love this guy here because he comes every time and giggles at me. He's like my lovely, sexy cheerleader. But yeah, we have, literally that's all we have in Darlington is Poundland, Greggs, Poundland, Greggs, Poundland, Greggs. I'm using the stage, if people are wondering what I'm doing. I've used it. But yeah, that's all we have, Poundland and Greggs. And I have a theory why this is linked. You see, if you're going to live on Greggs, you don't want to spend a lot on your tracksuit to get it covered in pasty. And it's not like we're even a town anymore. It's more like we're sort of a Greggs tasting zone. We're like the Roswell of pastry. It's a wonderful place. But it is like Greggs have took over everything in the town. Even my children's school is their breakfast club is sponsored by Greggs pasties, which is fantastic. It's in a town with a childhood obesity crisis. It's about as appropriate as Carlos Tevez having a sideline in motivational speaking. Or euthanasia clinics opening in old people's homes, I guess. That's gone quiet. Sorry for the older people in the room. Yeah, I didn't mean to alienate you or anything. Just I know these. Yeah, so where was I? Time check. Yeah, so like I said, we have a childhood obesity problem in Darlington. Strangely, we have also have an underage pregnancy problem. I have kind of two schools of thought on this. Perhaps they all sort of feel undervalued and a bit vulnerable and are easier to pull. Pull's not the word. Groom's the word. It gets me all sorts of trouble, and lists, lots of lists. Or perhaps they're just easier to catch. Either way, it's a win-win, really. You know, stand outside the chippy with a net. Get in the van. The specially adapted low-loading fat kid. If you hear a beep outside of a chip shop, it's me with a net. Beep, get in. This is none of my set. This is fantastic. I'm enjoying this. So yeah, Celebrity Big Brother's been on. Strange choice of winner. I can't imagine the conversation at Channel 5. We're going to have a game show based largely around evictions. What we need for that is a gypsy. They do fantastically well with the word eviction. It's no wonder he fucking won every Thursday. Paddy, you're evicted. No, I'm not. I'm not fucking going nowhere. I have rights too. You'll find that an outstanding impression. Yeah. So he's brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic to see that. And I thought, you know, we have all this hoo-ha constantly on the news about Dale Farm. Perhaps we should just adopt a game show format there. Every week, just leave the Sky cameras are already there. Leave the cameras there. Just evict a fucking gypsy every week. 1 week. Let Davina interview them. Away they go. With that in mind, it's probably going to take a long time, because according to the Daily Mail, there are 11 million gypsies. And 93% of Eastern Europe all camped there. Yeah, so obviously that was followed by Regular Big Brother. I love Regular Big Brother. I fucking hate, no, I don't love Regular Big Brother. I hate it. Absolute vermin people. Does anybody like Regular Big Brother?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a cock. I love Paul, really. He's giving me a gig on Tuesday. And he might stab me like an orange. Yeah, but Regular Big Brother's been on, and like I said, I'm bipolar and unstable. So I wrote to Channel 5 with crayon. whilst in the pit of despair. And I thought it would make it much more interesting if we added a few characters. The character I had in mind was the Yorkshire Ripper. Yeah, it's just a certain. I couldn't wait. I was just wondering, can you imagine? Day 5 in the Big Brother house. Pleb A is worried by Peter's over-involvement in a hammer task. I think that idea was secondary only to when I wrote to Channel 4 to improve Coach Trip. Do you know what Coach Trip is? Yeah. Those ladies in the back, you'll know what Coach Trip is, don't you?
Oh, yes.
No, yes. You look like between 3 and 6 o'clock you're glued to Channel 4. Yeah, Countdown.
No.
Mark the pen. You were?
No. Yeah.
Well done. Anyway, my idea to improve Coach Trip, for those of you who don't know what Coach Trip is, it's students and people at a certain age, you probably already will. It's like if they filmed the movie Speed on an Aldi budget, then that's kind of like Coach Trip, except the IQ drops below 50, not the miles per hour. So my idea for improving that was kind of like, you know, they have the vote off at the end. And I was thinking, rather than the cheery wave goodbye from Brendan, and off on EasyJet you go home, I think Brendan should whack you mob style. In whatever Eastern European car park the vote's taking place with, and they should just leave you in the grid bin. I've been asked to stop writing to the telly. I say asked, stop being forced. My other idea was, you know, just try medical research on them, I guess. New aspirin, Nurofen, Zyklon B. The Nazi joke went on really bad. Yeah, with that swish segue, I love medical research, mate. My favourite bit this week, I don't know if anybody saw it, it was in the newspapers this week. Glow-in-the-dark cats provide clue to the cure of HIV and AIDS. Fantastic. That's the best headline I've seen since I was doing my nursing degree. And I saw, new heart drug, Viagra. Trial group experienced strange side effects. It's true. I also think that people with HIV and AIDS, they're sort of discriminated against enough without glowing in the dark. Telltale giveaway. Imagine being on a busy bus. There's this seat here. I'd rather not. That looks more than a healthy glow you've got going on. So, yeah. My last bit of research that I saw, we spend 34 minutes a week complaining about Mondays. It's a whole lot of time, isn't it? 34 minutes. Actually, it's not. Yesterday, I spent 2.5 hours masturbating over Saturdays. An applause break for masturbation. Like, it couldn't get any lower. Oh, fantastic. I've actually just got back from my holidays, which is why I haven't been doing very much. You can probably tell by my caramel complexion. I excuse those at the back who thought I was mixed race. I am actually mixed race. My mum's Glaswegian smackhead and my dad's albino. I don't actually go I don't go brown at all. It's strange. I go from terminally ill white to recovering junkie. Anyway, we flew with Ryanair. Has anybody here flown with Ryanair? Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking terrible. You generally get a fanfare when you land. It's you land and it's like du-du-du-du-du-du. You have boarded what was essentially a Ford Escort strapped to a kite. You have been catapulted across Europe with 300 slags on a Hindu. And you've landed 44 miles from your destination without dying. Well done! Fly with us again in the future. Before I got on the flight though, I flew from Liverpool Airport. And when you fly from Liverpool Airport, I haven't turned it off, I've just gone quiet. When you fly from Liverpool Airport, you've got to go through a massive WH Smith's to get to some of the checkout gates. So we were sort of cruising through Smith's. We were going from one checkout gate. There was the flight to Portugal on EasyJet at the next gate. We were going through Smith's. The last stand through Smith's, massive display, bearing in mind there was lots of families on the Portugal flight. Madeline, our story, by Kate and Jill. Now, I'm not going to make light of what is a terrible situation, but that is about as appropriate as taking your gran for a flu jab and there being a signed poster of Harold Shipman on the doctor's door. I'm only presuming that the person who stocks shelves in Smith's also books gypsies for Channel 5. I'm not going to say a lot more, I don't think, because I've waffled on a bit. I'm going to leave you with a few things. Things I've learned this week. When your other half says you spend too much time talking to people on Facebook, don't say, well, add me as a friend then and I may poke you. It is also neither big or clever when said other half writes an arsey message on the slightly middle-class kitchen chalkboard to draw a massive thumb above it and says likes it. Day 7 in Alan's house, and he still has had no sex. I am going to leave you with one more thing. I'm a big fan of sayings. They say if you love somebody, set them free. With that in mind, I'm going to untie next door's daughter from our airing cupboard. And you can all go for a well-earned break. I've been Al, you've all been fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm a everyone.